tomorrow today. From our homes to policy rooms, from the streets to leadership. When women stand in their power, the whole nation rises with it. No more silence, no disguise. This is truth, this is time. When women speak, the future listens. Hear the rhythm, hear the signs of women's affairs. Voices strong and free. On Jadin Radio 101.5 FM, rights and power progressing. Women's affairs shaping destiny. Women's affairs stand tall, take your place. Every woman, every space. When women win, the nation gains. Women's affairs will lead the change. Not a favor, not a trend. This is justice, this is progress. Yeah, this is women's affairs. Women's affairs, hear the call. Every Wednesday, standing tall. From 1:30 p.m. to 2, Jadin Radio, bringing it through. Women's affairs, one voice, one aim. 1:30 to 2. When women speak, the future listens. Hear the rhythm, hear the signs of women's affairs. Voices strong and free. On Jadin Radio 101.5 FM, rights and power progressing. Women's affairs shaping destiny. Women's affairs stand tall, take your place. Every woman, every space. When women win, the nation gains. Women's affairs will lead the change. Not a favor, not a trend. This is justice, this is progress. Yeah, this is women's affairs. Women's affairs, hear the call. Every Wednesday, standing tall. From 1:30 p.m. to 2, Jadin Radio, bringing it through. Women's affairs, one voice, one aim. 1:30 to 2, we name the time. Jadin Radio 101.5. Women's affairs, alive, alive. With Omolola Kaliye Tamisa. Women's affairs, one Wednesday, 1:30 p.m. to 2, we name. London Tami. On Jadin Radio 101.5 FM. With Omolola Kaliye Tamisa. When women stand in their power, the whole nation rises with it. No more silence, no disguise. This is truth, this is time. When women speak, the future listens. Hear the rhythm, hear the signs of women's affairs. Voices strong and free. On Jadin Radio 101.5 FM, rights and power progressing. Women's affairs shaping destiny.
Good day, distinguished listeners. How do you do today? But first, I would like to start it this way. Imagine waking up every morning uncertain about the safety of your children. You are worried about whether schools will open. You are anxious about kidnappings. And you are also concerned about what tomorrow holds for your family. And this is the reality women, not only women, many Nigerians face today. But yet in the midst of this, all these challenges that we are going through, one group continues to hold the families communities and the nation together. And who are this set of people? Who are this group of people? That is women. Yeah, welcome to today's edition of Women Affairs, the program that celebrates, empowers, and gives a voice to women in our society. Welcome. My name is Omolola Kalejaye Damisa. As we all know that Nigeria is currently facing numerous challenges, the indefinite closure of public schools, which has left many parents and students worried about the future of education. And also reports of kidnappings and insecurity. These continue to create fear among us all. And we have families that are becoming increasingly concerned about their safety and well-being as Nigeria prepares for another election season. This is just June. And at times like this, women bear a significant burden. Why? Because they are mothers who comfort their frightening children, because they are wives who support struggling families. They are entrepreneurs that is battling economic hardship, and community leaders promoting peace and stability. Today's discussion, we are going to be focusing on the resilience of Nigeria women and the crucial role that we play in maintaining hope, unity, and progress amid all this insecurity and uncertainty. So how can we women protect our families, also contribute to peace building, and remain strong despite these challenges that is facing Nigeria right now? So these are some of the issues that we are going to be examining today. Let me just give you the discussion point, then we'll be taking it one by one. One is the impact of insecurity on women and children. Impact of insecurity on women and children. Another point is school closures and the future of Nigerian children. And also we are going to be discussing about how women can support emotional well-being within their families amid this insecurity. Also, women's role in promoting peace before, during, and after the elections. And also community vigilance and safety awareness. We are going to be talking about that too. Then we are going to be talking about empowering women economically during difficult times that we had this time around. If you move around, you know what I'm talking about. And also building hope and resilience in uncertain periods. That is all the discussion points we are going to be discussing about. But first, we are going to be talking about the impact of insecurity on women and children, and together with the school closures and the future of Nigerian children. Stay with me. I'll be right back.
Every voice deserves a chance. Every woman has a say. Beyond the noise of empty talk, we're shaping tomorrow today. From our homes to curfews, from the streets to leadership, when women stand in our power, the whole nation rises today.
Yes, thank you so much. If you are just tuning in, this is JDN Radio 101.5 FM on your program Women Affairs, where we talk about the empowerment of women and we speak about the voice of women, where women's voice is being louder. That is what we do on this special edition of the program Women Affairs. My name is Omolola Kalejaye Damisa, and this is JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Like I said, we are going to be talking about a lot of things today concerning this insecurity that is going on in our country. Yes, you know, women as a pillar of hope and also navigating fear, insecurity, and uncertainty in Nigeria as we have right now. And some of the discussion points that I've mentioned, I said we are going to be talking about the impact of insecurity on women and children, and also about the school closures and the future of Nigerian children. You know, the schools, public schools, most especially public schools, is on indefinite strike now. It has been shut down, and I believe everybody that is listening to me right now, you must have your children by your side. And when you check the time, it's just to 2, and normally public school closes by 2 p.m. and we have some private schools that closes by some 4, some 5, some 6, maybe depending on their timetable. And now, why do we have our children right now with us at home? We all know what is going on in the society now. We all know what is happening all over Nigeria concerning this insecurity. And we want to talk about the impact of insecurity on women and the children, and why the school closure will affect or may not affect the future of Nigerian children. Nigeria's greatest asset is not its oil or minerals or natural resources, but it is its people. Our greatest asset as a nation is not just oil or the mineral resources that we have in this country, but it is its people, and most especially the children. These children represent the future of this nation. But however, it is so unfortunate that insecurity and the disruption of education have become a major threat to the growth and development of Nigerian children. Women and children are often the most vulnerable whenever there is insecurity. I've made mention of this times without number on this program, especially when I treated the voting power of a woman. You see, women will suffer the physical, the emotional, the social, and the economic consequences of violence, kidnappings, communal clashes, and other security challenges. Women faces this a lot. When schools are closed due to insecurity, the future of millions of children becomes uncertain, and thereby creating serious concerns for families and the society at large. Now let's talk about the impact of insecurity the impact of this insecurity on women. Maybe many of us don't know, when I made mention of the voting power of women, but now, don't let me say Ojo Atija. With what happened this morning, you can see it was reported in the paper that a woman was kidnapped this morning together with her children. Forget about the status. Let's say a woman was kidnapped this morning with her children. Now, let's talk about the impact of insecurity on women. Women face unique challenges during periods of insecurity, and that is what we are facing right now. Number one is emotional and psychological trauma. This morning, my neighbor walked up to me and told me that she's scared that with all the news we have been hearing, with these, you hear calls, you receive different calls that she was asking me this morning that she's not certain that should she allow her children to go to school because of all this insecurity. You know, the public school have been closed indefinitely, and we see how private schools, they are still going to schools. So, and our children attend private school. She was telling me, no, I just have to summon courage. Even me too. I'm not that strong, but I have to say, we are covered. Prepare your children. Let's go to school. Prepare your children. She prepared our children. I also prepared my children. And then we left home. Pam! It was not up to 12. Then I started receiving calls. Then I started seeing people going into schools, picking their children up. You see, mothers constantly, we worry about the safety of our children. We worry about the safety of our husbands. We worry about the safety of our relatives. The fear of kidnappings, attacks, and violence creates anxiety, creates depression, creates emotional stress. I cannot tell you, if you see me, you see that I'm stressed. I have to rush down to my to my daughter's school. I said, no, let me go and pick my daughter. And you see so many people, even before we could even get a bike, it's a rocket science. So this, you can see what the impact of insecurity, why we must not keep quiet. When I say women, we have that power, the voting power. You can see the emotional and the psychological trauma. See women, see them, see the way they rush, to their ward school to go and pick up their children. You even see some will not even brace. Some will just walk in there. I saw a woman, she did not even, she was just like, I was doing something and somebody called me that this and this, blah, 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 blah. She just said, please, I need to pick my children. They are not coming to school again. They are not coming to school. You can see the emotional and the psychological trauma. That's number one. And that's not all. Number two, the impact of insecurity on women. Why women must stand up. Why women must vote. Why women must get their PVC. The impact of this insecurity. Another thing is increased economic hardship. You see, many women are traders. Some are farmers. Some are artisans. Some are business owners. You see, insecurity often disrupts their businesses and sources of income, you see, making it difficult to provide for their families. Now, we have some shops closed down because of, are they coming to your shop? But you see then they will just close and say, farmers can no longer go to their farms, which is why the food is very, very expensive now. Farmers cannot go to their farm because of insecurity, because of the fear of unknown. We see it on the social media. I saw a video where a certain ethnic group was, they are taking their cows and then they were just uprooting a cassava and they were uprooting it. It's not as if it has been uprooted already. They were uprooting it and feeding it to their cows. You can imagine that. So tell me, who is the farmer that will stay and say, yes, I want to go and farm? Who will go to that bush to farm? Nobody. Everybody is just running helter-skelter for safety. That is the impact of insecurity on women. Another thing is family burden. You see, we women, we often become the primary caregivers during crisis. You see now, when this incident happened, though I saw some men too going to school to pick their children, but you see, most of them are women. There is so much burden on them, on we women. So much burden, because we want to ensure that our children are fed, that our children are protected, and they're emotionally supported despite these difficult circumstances. We want to be like, we want to put everything in place, so don't let this happen, or this and that, blah, 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 blah. Impact of insecurity on women. Another is displacement and loss of livelihood. When we have insecurity, many women are forced to flee their homes Why? Due to violence and insecurity and leaving behind their businesses, their farms and possessions. We see a whole town. Kò sí ẹyẹ ń bẹ̀ mọ́. They left their communities. Mind you, that communities they left behind, it's not as if that is where they get their income. That is where they make their livelihood. They left their businesses. They ran. They left their businesses. They left their farms. They left their nobody is even carrying, I want to carry bed or a bed lele. You see them, they just pick one or two of their clothes with their children. They flee. Some even, they flee even with legs. They are trekking before they could get. You see it on social media. We know what is happening. In Kwara State, in some other states, you see them in those towns, villages, towns, they fled. That is the impact of insecurity. And that is why women need to wake up. You can see this burden is so much on we women. And this is why I kept on saying we should wake up from our slumber. That is for women. Now let's talk about the impact of this insecurity on children. You know, you don't just say, these children, they understand what is happening. No. You see them, when you take them from school, you see they will ask you, what is happening, mommy? What happened? We had this. They will be asking you questions. So what is the impact of this insecurity on children as well? Number one is the children are exposed to violence, they are exposed to kidnappings or security threats, and which may develop long-term emotional and psychological problems. They will be like, I don't want to go to school. I don't want them to kidnap me. Or no, mommy, I don't want to go. Another problem is disruptions of education. You see now, school have been closed. Children lose valuable learning time that can never be fully recovered. That is what we are facing now. Even if you say you want to stay in school, who is going to teach you? The teacher are in panic. Everybody is in panic. Another thing is increased risk of child labor. You see, out-of-school children may be forced into street hawking, child labor, or other activities that might expose them to danger. That is the impact of insecurity on children. Another thing is that loss of childhood experiences, because instead of them to focus on learning, playing, and developing social skills, many children are forced to live in fear and uncertainty. If you just hear any, maybe somebody you just hear maybe just a sound, you'll be like, what is happening? What is going on? What is happening? School closures and their consequences. The school has been closed now. What are the consequences? What do we need to do? Learning loss, that's number one thing. Because every day spent outside the classroom widens educational gaps and reduces academic achievement. Àwọn tó ń fẹ́ kàwé tẹ́lẹ̀, ẹ tó wá rí opportunity. Wọ́n á sọ pé ó yá go. These are the impact of insecurity. Then, what do we have? This might even lead to some children saying they might even say, I'm not even going to school again, Jare. You know, some children may never return to school after prolonged closures, especially those from poor families. Yes, because their security is not guaranteed. Some of them will drop out. Some of them will be like, well, even parents will even say, well, maybe you should not go to school again. Maybe you should go and maybe you should stay back at home. That is the impact of insecurity on our dear nation. Another problem is that it could lead to early marriage and teenage pregnancy. You know, girls who remain out of school for extended period, some of them do face a higher risk of early marriage and teenage pregnancy. That is what we have in the northern side. You can see what is going on there. You see a girl of 13, 16, they already have a child. They are married out. And when this continue to happen, another thing is that my time is fast spent. All right, let me give this to wrap it up. Growing inequality. You see, children from wealthy families may continue to learn it through private lesson or online platforms, while children from disadvantaged backgrounds may fall behind. Because what? Because they don't have the advantage, because they don't have the money. So women, please. I would just say insecurity and school closures, they are not just merely educational challenges. They are national emergencies that affect the future of Nigeria and that needed to be attended to urgently. So this is to call on our government to please intervene, to please do something fast. Before, God forbid bad thing, we just pray that God will continue to protect us all and spare us all. And for those that are still in the captive, I pray that God will back the effort of the government to bring them back home safely to us. We are protected in Jesus' name. All right, it's time for me to go. I'll see you next week, Wednesday, by the special grace of God, by 1:30. We'll still continue on this topic, the impact of insecurity on women and children, and the school closures and the future of Nigerian children. What are the things to be done? What do we need to do? What does the government need to do? The communities, the elders, what do they need to do? We'll continue with this topic by next week. See you same time next week by the special grace of God. My name is Omolola Kalejai Damisa. Keep it locked to JDN Radio 101.5 FM.
Every voice deserves a chance.